Greetings, Glitter Gang, and welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn, and this is the Halloween Coffin album. We're almost finished. We've got all of the insides of it done, and now we just need to figure out how we're going to do the cover and the spine and what size they're all going to be. So I'm going to grab the template for the coffin itself, because I think that may help us figure some stuff out. Which is it this? Is this one? Okay, so no. So this is for the mat. This is the matting. So the, oh right, this is the coffin itself. All right. So let's get another piece of white paper because we're going to figure out the coffins. And this is how we're going to do it. So I'm just going to stick this on top of itself, and then I'm going to trace it. And let me trace it in pencil first, and then we can okay, now, when I do covers, usually the side where it's bound is the same size that it would normally be, and then the other three sides are a 1/4 inch larger. So in this case, that's going to be, so this line is not going to come out any farther. It's just going to go up and down. All these other lines are going to push out a 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to label this spine so that we know that that's the spine. And then we're going to take the 1/4 inch line of my ruler, and on all the other sides, we're going to push them out. So you can see how we're going to come out a 1/4 inch on every side of the coffin except for that spine side. And I'm going to overdraw my lines because I want them to intersect. I want clear intersections of the lines. So, you know, don't get rid of your templates even if you think you're done with that portion of the coffin. Okay, and then for these two, I need to connect this corner and this corner. So I'm just going to redraw the line over the spine line that's already there. So in this case, I'm going to line the edge of my ruler up rather than the 1/4 inch line. And then I'm going to make sure I intersect the two lines. And now I have a new template, okay? And this new template is for the chipboard. So this outside piece, that's for the chipboard. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out with my rotary trimmer. And wow, that was very wobbly. Okay, let me try that again. I don't think I was touching my ruler. I think I was just next to it. Yeah, that's better. I just somehow managed to skip the same section twice. There we go. All right, so what I think I'll do is I'm just going to use my scissors because I seem to be struggling with the ruler today. And I'm very confident with scissors, so let's just go ahead and cut by hand. Okay, so now we have our template. So we're going to go ahead and put these other templates to the side, and then I need 2 pieces of chipboard. So let me get those. Oh, darn. So I was hoping I'd be able to put the long spine side on the edge, but I'm not going to be able to. It really only can go upright. Sad for me. Oh well. So trace it onto your chipboard. And do that twice. All right, so now we've got the spine pieces. And so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to try and cut the, this top bit is what I want to cut. I think it's time to change the blade on this. So all right. What the heck? This chipboard, there's something. There is something wrong with this chipboard. This is a brand new blade. And it's still not all the way through. What the heck? Oh, okay, we got through it. Wow. So I'm gonna, hopefully I'll be able to use my trimmer to cut some of it, question mark. I don't know. Wish me luck. I'm gonna try and see if I can cut it on my Nope, I don't think that's safe. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to cut it by hand. I don't know. Something is wrong with this chipboard. This chipboard is making me nervous. I'm going to just get the Tim Holtz scissors. Yeah. Let's try this. There's like some little bits in it that are hard to cut through. I wonder if it's maybe been contaminated with something that's not strictly a paper product. Or if the glue was a little chunky or something like that. Nope. Okay, well, this is certainly harder than I thought it was going to be. All right, this piece I can cut in my trimmer probably. All right, so ta-da! Okay, so now no, I think it's this way. Yeah. Okay. So this is not something I considered. It's not, that's not how we want to do it. So first I have to cut this out again because we want to, where are my pink scissors? The heck? Okay. They're in the drawer. All right. So that's, the template's not going to work exactly right. I don't think. I'm just going to kind of quickly cut this down to figure out what the issue is exactly. So I'm going to cut this down till it's back to the same size as the page again. Okay, so yeah, so it's just by making it bigger by 1/4 of an inch all the way around, it didn't quite work. So, because see, this is this, right? So what did I do? Oh, I had it on upside down. Apparently it was fine. Just kidding. Okay. All right, so we know that this is correct. So we're going to have to label. It only works one direction because there's a distinct spine side. All right, so look, when it's spine to spine, then it looks fine. When it's spine to free edge, then it does not. It looks deranged. So make sure you label spine side once you get it out. So, okay, let's try again. So first thing I'm going to do, all right. Okay, so I've gotten it to where it's going to be easier to cut by trimming down the sides. And cutting off the top. Okay, and then once I've got those two short bits cut, I can then put these on the trimmer because I can see the beginning and end of each line. I can line it up with the edge of my trimmer. And then we'll do just fine. Okay, we're doing it. All right, so let me finish cutting this on my trimmer, and then I'll be right back to figure out which side is the spine. And then we will figure out how we're going to do, once we know the length of the spine, we'll prep the paper for the spine, and then, all right. Okay, so now we just need to figure out, all right, so this is the spine. Okay. All right, now that we know the spine, we can measure it. So the spine is 8.5. Okay, that worked out nicely. So to make our decorative spine, we need a piece that's 8.5 inches tall by however thick this spine, this book is, plus 2¼ inches. So it's 2 inches. So 4¼ inches by 8.5 inches is what we need. So I'm just looking for a full sheet. Which full sheets I have that I haven't really cut into too much. There we go. There's the stack, and this is actually kind of cool, so maybe that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one for the outside, and then we'll line it with something pretty basic. Just like a background paper. With this. So we want, I said it needed to be 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut 5 by 9 pieces out of these two so that we have excess we can cut down. Actually, probably 4 1/2 by 9 is probably enough. All right, so that's 4 1/2 by 9. And that's 4 1/2 by 9. And then we need a piece of Tyvek. So let me go grab it. Sorry for the noise. All right, so I just need to cut a strip of this off. Okay. What I need to do is roll this onto something smaller so I have a more manageable piece to work with, but I'll probably do that never. Just being honest. All right, so then I'm going to cut this to 5 by 10. Well, maybe I'll just cut it to 4 1/2 by 9. All right, and then we're going to sandwich these 3 together. Okay. All right, so we're going to make a little sandwich. And the sandwich will be the 2 pieces of pattern paper back to back with the Tyvek in between. I'm going to use Perfect Paper Adhesive Matte by US Art Quest. I like it because it's very flexible after it dries, unlike, Scotch Quick Dry, which can get a little stiff. The big thing is it does take quite a lot longer to dry than something like Scotch Quick Dry or US Art Quest or any of those. So it just takes time to work with it, and you really want to let it dry, which is why we're going to let it dry in between tonight's shows. So I'm going to stick it down, and then I'm going to peel it up, and then I'm going to flip it around and then slide it kind of back and forth and twist it until it starts to kind of grab, and you can feel it start to kind of grab. And once you do, then you can start to press it into place. And then do that on the other side. And then just kind of shimmy it. You're just smearing the glue around until you can feel the glue start to grab. And then when you start to feel the glue grab, that's when you really burnish. Pick it up. Clean your mat. Then just kind of go over the edges in particular, make sure they're well stuck down. And then take your little non-stick mat with your piece and stick it under your big desk mat. And that'll just hold it in place. And just let it dry, you know, for several hours, overnight, whatever. Just really let it dry. So you can see how I'm lifting my mat and putting that underneath this mat. So this mat's weight is going to hold that flat. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to figure out how big of a rectangle we need for this. So it's 11.5 by 8. It's 11.5 by 8. So we need a piece that's 13.5 by 10. 13.5 by 10. All right, so now we've got to go to the Photoshop. All right, so let me switch to here. Okay, so what did I say? 13.5 by 10. So 13, or it's actually 10 by 13.5. So 10 by 13.5. Okay, so this whole thing needs to be covered. So I'm going to go open digital paper, paper phenomenon, Halloween night, 12 by 12. Open. Okay. Now we want to think about something. Ooh, right off the bat, I love this. Okay, so I think I do want this to be the background of whatever I put on my coffin. Ugh. Why? Okay, so let's think. No. Maybe. No. Maybe. Maybe. No. No. Maybe. Maybe. No. Okay. No. 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 Now I'm looking for, like, what can I use to line the inside front cover? I'm going to want something a little more subtle than these. So a more background type paper. So I'm going to go into the papers again. And I'm going to look for a couple things. But I want things that are mostly grayish. All right. This is a little too white. Maybe. No. No. Maybe. Okay, so I think I like this the best. All right. Okay, so going back to these, just trying to think of how we're going to make this work on something that's this size. Like, how are we going to put these elements together? So let me grab her. Let's drop her onto this. Okay. And let's say that we want this to be the front of our coffin. Knowing we're going to lose an inch off the top, okay, I can drop this down a half an inch and it can just be white at the top. That's fine. In fact, so let's grab, where are you? There you are. Go over here. Okay. Actually, let's make this 13.5-inch square. So it'll just fill the thing. And then we can drop it. There we go. All right, so we don't need this. We don't need this. Don't need this. Maybe not. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this come start about 3/4 of an inch down from the top. And I'm going to have the bird feathers go just 1/4 of an inch over this last inch here. I just have to think about what's going to get cut off and what's not going to get cut off, that sort of thing. No, I need to center her. That's what I need to do. So we need her centered on layer 1. So I'm going to highlight both of them and click this middle. Now that was supposed to center her, but it didn't. But that's okay. I can do, there we go. Okay. So now she's centered. 3¼ inches down from the top. Yeah. I think that's about right. Just gonna scooter. Okay, so that's what she's gonna look like. So this will be the front of our coffin. And then for the back of the coffin, what we'll do is we'll do just the hot pink pattern paper. So I'm just gonna merge these two layers together to make them one layer. I'm gonna drop them on our page to print. And unfortunately, it's the only thing that can go on the page just because of the size of it. And then I'm gonna delete this, and then we can print this, and then close here. Okay, then for her, for this is already this we don't need, we've already got it. So the only thing left is, okay, all right, so we're gonna print these two. So we're not going to print this one. We're going to remove it. Change settings, advanced settings, Super B, the huge. Okay, one copy. All right. So this one should just print in the center of the page if we've done it right. Whew. Tense. Tense. And then because we are going to be wrapping this around something, I'm going to print it on the koala paper because the koala paper is thinner. It's just easier to wrap around things. I printed most things with the Epson, but with this we'll print the koala. All right, so while those are printing, all we have to do now is, just gonna delete this, close this, don't save. I'm gonna make this 13.5 again. And then we're going to make it, 10. And I'm going to cut to try and keep, yeah. All right, so then this one, we'll print twice for the inside front and back cover. All right. Okay, so now we're back to the desk. All right. And the main thing we're going to have to figure out how to do is how are we going to remember the spines and figure out our shapes. That's what we're going to have to work on. So I guess I didn't consider how the angles were all going to work out with such an odd shape. But hey, now we know. Okie dokes. So now what we need is we're gonna have to find, I lost my template. All right, here it is. So this is our page template. Okay. All right, so oh, well, we won't have to figure it out because as long as we stick this down in the correct orientation, it'll be fine. Yeah. Okay, we'll be fine. Never mind. We don't have to do anything weird, or we shouldn't have to do anything weird. I'm not gonna... Let's start with the back cover. This is a little too long for my trimmer, so how is this all going to wrap together? That's our next hurdle. All right, so this is the back cover, so it would go like this. This is the direction we need it to be. All right. Man, okay. All right, so theoretically, we should just be able to cover this whole thing with tape and figure it out from there. But I guess we'll find out. What surprises lie ahead? The biggest trick is going to be folding. So that's what we'll have to figure out. How to fold. But I think if we just do the sides, just move clockwise around it, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay if we just move one direction. All right, so just make sure it's right side up. Then we're going to line it up. I'm going to put my ruler down. Then the spine, I'm just gonna center it to the best of our abilities. And then this is where it's gonna get weird. Okay. And ta-da. All right. Okay, here we go. Now normally I would notch these corners, right? But these corners aren't normal. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and figure out how to notch them. So I'm just gonna come out like 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So I'm cutting I'm putting the 1/8 of an inch line on my ruler on each side and just kind of cutting, kind of figuring it out from there. So from these corners. And then hopefully that's going to work. I have a feeling it's not. I have a feeling I'm messing something up, but we'll see. Depending on how this goes, you'll know what not to do on yours. All right, well, let's hope for the best. Oh my gosh. Ah! I think it might have worked. Look at that. Look at that. Woo, we did it. It's a coffin. Spine's in the correct place. All right. We have a coffin back. All right, so what we would do is attach this here like so, and then just cover it with our liner paper. And then it would rest like this. Ah! I think it's gonna work. Friends, I think it's gonna work. Okay. So now that I know what I'm doing, let me walk through the front cover more slowly so that we can get the actual, like, how do I really do this? Okay, so here's the piece we've chosen for the front cover. All right, and then on the bottom, I'm just going to draw a line 1 inch up so that when I go to place my coffin later, I know where to place my coffin. All right, now I'm going to cut the sides. All right. So, step 1, cut your piece out. Now, if you aren't printing your paper at home, you know, you can make an extra long piece of paper by sticking bits on. So, like, you would take a 12 by 12 sheet, and then you would add, you can attach paper 1 inch on the top and the bottom to extend it with tape. It'll work fine as long as you're not, the crease between the two pieces of paper isn't in where you would have a fold. Okay, so where your two papers, where you have a fold, you don't want your two papers to join, so you would add, it'd probably be best if you need to end up with 13.5. So you would get a piece of paper that was 9.5 and then add a 2 inch strip at the top and a 2 inch strip at the bottom. And that way you would be fine. You wouldn't have to worry. So, because you could wrap it over and you'd have an inch on either side. And the joint would be on the front of the cover, and it would just be glued down. It would be totally fine. All right, so now once you've covered it with tape, go ahead and burnish your tape. And then you're gonna peel all your tape. Okay. Okay. All right, so on this one, this is the spine side. This side is the spine side, so we just want to make sure we put our spine side on that side. All right. Now, what we're going to do is, first step is we're going to take the 1-inch line of our ruler and we're just going to trim it so that all the sides are 1 inch basically. And then after we've done that, we'll go make our notches. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take the 1/8 inch line of your ruler, okay, and your knife, and put the 1/8 inch line of your ruler on the edge of your board. And then you're going to cut from here to about 1/8 of an inch above where you're going to, beyond where you're going to fold it. So I'm not going all the way to the chipboard, I'm leaving 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and then I'm going to put 1/8 of an inch line here, and it's the same thing. I'm going to and then that's going to leave me that little, see that little 1/8 of an inch right there? That's what I want. I want a little bit of paper to pull up over the side. Okay, so and then just keep doing that all the way around. So okay. So all right, then just keep going around. Remember, just don't go all the way to the chipboard. You want to just be spaced out to the side. All right, and last one. Okay, so that should leave you with something like this. And then all you have to do is just roll it up. And then Ta-da! It worked again! Ah, look at that bird flying in. Okay. So it's going to ultimately end up looking like this. All right? This is what it's going to look like. Oh, Marcel! Hi. You here to say hi to your friends? Yeah? No. All right. Okay. So the next step is we will attach the spine to, and then once we've attached the spine, then we can just stick it all together. So we're going to attach these two pieces to each other with that spine piece that we put under the mat earlier. And then once they're attached, we'll stick this down, and that spine piece will cover, you know, this part. So that'll be covered. And then we just have to figure out the interior lining. I think we're going to have to, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to make another template. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So that'll be tonight. And we definitely will finish it. We definitely will finish it. Oh, he's attacking himself. He's attacking himself. All right, so this is the cover. All right, so this is how it'll look on the back when it's open. All right, so that's the, well, actually it'll look like this. It'll look like this with that in between. So that'll be cool. That'll be cool. All right. Looking good. Looking good. So we will come back tonight. We will put the front and back cover on it and the spine on it, and then we'll do the lining of the interior. We'll do a final flip through, and then that'll finish this off. And then next week we'll just do Christmas stuff. We'll make some little Christmas, cute little Christmas things, and that'll be that. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I can't believe we're going to finish this before the end of the year. Yay! For this album, for those of you who are watching live, this will conclude our show for this afternoon. I'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. I stream every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. If you're watching in the archives, stay tuned for what I do tonight. And if you're watching on YouTube, check the channel for the playlist to see the final outcome of this. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.